If you think the Vortex helps you get things in focus, try becoming a premium member on RealCatholicTV.com for the best shows on earth. The benefits are out of this world.
A good education can make you, well, a good liberal. Is Obama playing God again? And an American cardinal makes the case for the Blessed Sacrament. All that and more coming up on today's Catholic News Roundup.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Liberal indoctrination. A new Gallup poll shows that Americans who spend time in college become more liberal, specifically on the abortion issue. The hard numbers indicate that only 33% of Americans with a high school degree or less said they were pro-abortion. The story for those attending college was remarkably different. 41% of Americans who had done some college described themselves as pro-abortion, and the numbers get worse. 45% of college graduates and 58% of those with graduate school degrees take a pro-death position. These findings confirm what many have suspected, that higher education pushes the liberal agenda in relentless fashion, so much for academic freedom. Oval Office Gendercide. The Obama administration is looking unsure about whether or not it is in favor of gender-selective abortions, but Obama himself is honoring a Supreme Court justice who praises partial birth abortion as an exercise of liberty for women. Earlier this week, Obama's press secretary, Jay Carney, told a reporter who asked about the administration's view of gendercide abortions that he is not sure what the president's stance on the practice is, saying he has been, quote, focused on other things. However, Obama has awarded, quote, the highest honor a civilian can achieve to former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens, infamous for writing a court case opinion calling partial birth abortion a liberty enshrined in the 14th Amendment. The official reason Obama cited for giving the Stevens the Presidential Medal of Freedom is for his, quote, commitment to his noble vision of our nation's founders. Deadly intimidation. Underground Catholics in China are being forced to ignore the status of a Vatican-appointed bishop at his own funeral mass. The Chinese Catholic Patriotic Association will not allow Bishop Francis Li Yi of Shaanxi to be recognized as a bishop after he died of a stroke at age 89 last week, because he was not a government-approved prelate. Two, quote, senior priests recognized by the government-approved Catholic Church will preside over and keep a watchful eye on the ceremony, despite the attempts of faithful Catholics to negotiate with government officials on the matter. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Bogus Blame. A pro-abortion group is trying to cast doubts on a new study that has pro-life findings. The Guttmacher Institute, the former research arm for Planned Parenthood, claims there are methodology problems in a recent study done by researchers at the University of Chile. The study, which examines the relationship between abortion laws and mortality rates, finds that by simply improving maternity wards and increasing the education of women, maternal mortality ratios actually decrease significantly. The Chilean researcher and his colleagues responded to each criticism from Guttmacher and said that the pro-death group had produced major misinformation with their allegations. Pro-abortion groups have been losing ground as of late. Recent studies actually show that increased contraception use increases the amount of abortions, refuting the often heard claim that more contraception equals less unintended pregnancies. Most Faithful Defense. On June 7th, Catholic Action for Faith and Family is releasing Raymond Cardinal Burke's new book, Divine Love Made Flesh, the Holy Eucharist as the sacrament of charity. As prefect of the Supreme Tribunal of the Apostolic Signature in Rome, Cardinal Burke often speaks out against pro-death public figures receiving communion, citing Canon 915 mandating, quote, "Those who have been excommunicated or interdicted after the imposition or declaration of the penalty, and others obstinately persevering in manifest grave sin, are not to be admitted Holy Communion," end quote. His book confirms this teaching by urging all bishops to love and protect the Eucharist, reminding them, quote, "For bishops to do less constitutes a failure to shepherd the flock entrusted into their care." I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure and tune in on Monday for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And also be sure to check out The Vortex, where Michael talks about the church militant. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.